Every single piece of writing you come across has a kind of hidden message. It's a code, really, and it's deliberately built to make you feel or think a certain way. So today, we're going to become detectives, and I'm going to show you exactly how to crack that code.
Think about it. Have you ever read a news article that just made your blood boil? Or a line in a book that literally gave you goosebumps? How is it that a few simple words on a page can have such a huge effect on us?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not magic. It's actually a series of very deliberate choices. Every writer leaves behind a trail of clues, a kind of secret code that's designed to influence you. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to see it and how to decipher it. Okay, so our investigation always starts by figuring out the writer's motive. Before we even look at the words themselves, we have to understand why they were even written in the first place. Every good detective starts with the motive, right? For us, that means we have to figure out the writer's purpose and who their intended audience is. Are they trying to inform you, persuade you, maybe just entertain you? And who's their target? Is it a small group of experts or just everybody? Pinning this down is absolutely the crucial first step of any investigation. So once we have a good idea of the motive, it's time to start looking for evidence. And the clues a writer leaves behind, they pretty much fall into two main categories: the language they choose to use and the way they structure the whole text. The evidence really breaks down into these two key areas. First up, you've got language. Think of this like the writer's fingerprints, the very specific words and phrases they pick. And then you have structure. This is more like the blueprint, how the writer organizes their ideas to guide you through the text. And trust me, both are absolutely packed with clues. So when we zoom in on the language, what are we actually looking for? Well, you want to pay attention to really powerful verbs or striking adjectives. Notice if they're using comparisons, like similes and metaphors. Even a simple question that doesn't actually need an answer can be an incredibly powerful tool. You have to remember, every single word is a choice. It's a deliberate clue. And now for the blueprint, the structure itself. How does the text begin? And how does it end? Does the writer suddenly shift focus, maybe going from a big picture view to a tiny close-up detail? Do they use a long, complicated sentence and then follow it up with a really short, punchy one? This is how a writer controls the rhythm and basically tells your brain where to pay attention. So, you've found the motive, you've gathered all the evidence. Now what? Well, you need a system to put it all together, and that's where your new secret weapon comes in. It's a framework, and it's called SQUID. SQUID is a really simple four-step process for analyzing any clue you find. First, you make a statement where you just identify the technique. Then, you provide a quote as your hard evidence. Next, you infer the hidden meaning. What are those words really suggesting? And finally, you develop your point by explaining the effect it has on the reader. Statement, quote, infer, develop. That's it. That's how you crack the code. Okay, let's put SQUID into action with a real case file. This is a little piece from Gerald Durrell's memoir, My Family and Other Animals, and it's describing a character he calls the Rose Beetle Man. All right, let's start with our statement. We're just going to state that the writer here is using very specific verbs and adverbs to show us how uncontrolled and kind of unique this character's movements are. Simple as that. Next up, our quote. We're just pulling the evidence straight from the text. Now, notice we're not using the whole paragraph, right? Just the most powerful little bits that prove our point, swayed to and fro and waved extravagantly. Step 3 is to infer. So what do these words actually imply? Well, swayed isn't just walking. It suggests he's a little unsteady. And extravagantly isn't just waving. It's totally over the top. These words are hinting that the man is carefree, maybe a little wobbly, and yeah, probably a little drunk. And finally, step 4, develop. Now this is the crucial part. What's the effect on us? The language makes us picture this kind of scruffy, free-spirited character. But, and this is key, because the text mentions it's the last time he was seen, it creates this really bittersweet, almost sad feeling. See, SQUID took us from just a simple observation to a really deep understanding of the emotional impact. So let's put all these pieces together. With these tools, you're not just a reader anymore. You are now a text detective, and you're ready to solve pretty much any case that comes your way. So here it is, your complete detective toolkit. You always start with the motive. That's the purpose and audience. Then you gather your evidence by looking at both the language and the structure. And finally, you use your secret weapon, SQUID, to analyze your clues and crack the whole case wide open. And look, this isn't just for school or for passing exams. This is a real-world skill for decoding everything around you. From a news headline to a post on social media, someone is always using these techniques to try to influence you. And now, you have the tools to see exactly how they're doing it. You can now see the very deliberate choices writers are making to try and shape your thoughts and your feelings. So really, the only question left is, now that you can crack the code, what are you going to discover?